Hey guys, Kev here, and I have some new stuff from Tuya Knives. So I love Dave over at Tuya Knife. Dave Warren, great dude. Check him out. And you can always check out TuyaKnifeUS.com to pick up any of these things. Use the code LEFTY and you'll save 10%, which is awesome. Helps me out too. So you know, that's up to you. We have the Curtis Knives Production Series. And yeah, really excited about that. He does have them on his website as well. And he's also going to have full left-handed versions on his website soon as well, which is really cool. 2 years only going to have the right-handed ones. Now, these are obviously OEM by Tuya, and that's why we are going to be checking it out. Now, I do have two other knives. I don't even know what they are, to be honest. So, I do know what one of them is. It's the Calico Jack, and the other one I'm not sure. But let's check out the Curtis F3. It says, please include CurtisCustomKnives.com, and if you want to text David. Okay, I did talk to David over at Curtis Customs, and he said he would give me the same code. So that way, if you guys buy this knife at TuyaKnifeUS.com off Dave, or you buy it off of David, Curtis, at his website, CurtisCustomKnives.com, you can use the code LEFTY. So no matter what, use code LEFTY, you'll save 10%. All right? Let's check it out. Comes in the Tuya snap case here. And believe it or not, I actually owned a custom F3. This was, man, it had to be 3 years ago at this point. And I'll be blunt, I was not thrilled with the QC on that. And I'm pretty sure I just returned it. They did try to help. They were super helpful. Customer service was fantastic. No issues there. It just, knife didn't work out for me QC wise, and I moved on. But I really liked the design. You guys know, let's open her up. Ooh. You guys know I like a knife kind of in this shape and form factor. Now, it's a little bit different than I would normally go for. It's a little bit more of, I guess, a harder use knife than I'm normally after. But, yeah, very cool. I think he did have flipper and flipper-only versions when I got the custom. And I obviously went with the flipper, or the non-flipper, because I wanted the choil. I could be mistaken on that. This essentially is a choil, though. So I can fit my hand or my finger in there. It feels good. Nice and comfortable. We do have some pretty decent stock right there. Not lacking for toughness. Flat ground. Belt satin looks nice. I'm assuming this is M390 or S90V, one or the other. The action is phenomenal. I was told by a couple of guys who have them or who've handled them that it just kind of feels like it's on another level from Tuya. Like they just dialed in the little details. And I do think that the action just feels fantastic. They really did a good job on the action. I mean, you can hear it. It snaps out, snaps closed. Flipper has great detent. The hole snaps, no problem. The fact that this is going to come in a lefty is pretty intriguing to me. I do think it's a little bit too bruisery for me, personally. It's got a little bit of that thickness to it. It's not like stupid thick. We'll measure it here. But I'll tell you guys, this feels like an American-made knife. Now, it's an American design knife. It's made in China by Tuya Knives, so I just want to be clear. But it has that feel. Like, if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's flat scales. I guess that's part of it. It's, just titanium slabs. These are milled out really nicely, so the weight is good. We do have an external relief cut, but we have a big old pocket clip that goes over the top of it. And, I mean, I don't think, no tap. Yeah, you're not going to have a problem with that. It's probably going to work flawlessly. Yep. It does catch a little bit on the way out. It catches right here. Your pants will get caught right here. And then this almost like hooks it at the end. So like on your way in, it's stupid smooth. On the way out, it like wants to catch here and then catch here. And then you just yank it out. So I do think it shreds your pocket a little bit because of that. But it's not terrible. I like this clip mounting style. I've seen this for quiet carry before as well. It's like, the clip comes out of the back here, and then there's holes in the clip, but their screws aren't there. They go through and then into the frame and flush fit. So you end up with a really deep carry clip. Does it have wiggle? Maybe the slightest? That seems odd. It might just be the length of the damn clip. I think it's just so long, and it's not thin, but like you can see the material here that is holding it all together is not super substantial. Like I don't think it's going to break, but I think that's why I can like kind of move it just a little bit. I'd venture to guess it's tight. It's going to be T8, I think. Yeah, that's cranked down for sure. I mean, it's not going anywhere. Just confirming. Yep, T8s. Very nice T8s. The tooling's excellent on those. It's almost like maybe he had custom hardware made for his knife. T8 on the pivot as well. You have a double-sided pivot, so you have tooling on both sides. So I'd venture to guess it's not captive. But I'm okay with that. That usually equals a centered blade. And as long as you have tooling on both sides, it doesn't bother me. When companies do a spinning pivot with tooling only on one side, then I don't like it. We have a steel insert. It's got 2 screws there. I'm assuming those are T6. Check those. Yep. T6. Man, it's smooth as butter. Dead nuts. Definitely the way I like to see it. Looks like we've got a little bit of handle left over there where they could have snuck in some more blade. I usually like to see that. It is a curved design though. So like here it comes up pretty aggressively. So you can see the backspacer has, that upward angle in the material there. So they couldn't have gone as far as, but you can see they have plenty of room there. They could have added another 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch almost, it looks like. But yeah, this thing's smooth. No rattle, no, sound when it closes other than a snicket. Let me put it up to my microphone. Nice closing sound. Here's the deployment. Trying to take off my neck. Very nice. Lock bar access is fantastic. I mean, look at that. You have all day there to stick your thumb in. And you can do it nice and clean. Let that tab hit you. Shake it down. So you're not getting, you're not getting a blade on your nail that's going to cut you all up. I mean, it's super easy to manipulate. Yeah. They were right. There's just something really nice about this knife. Give it a little flick. Left-handed, man, it's really no problem because of the lock bar location where the hole is. You can just rest your thumb right up here. And that's the natural position, too. Like, well, I guess I could do it down here. Oh, there's a clip. You should be able to do it. Yeah. So even if you come down lower, you're right on the clip left-handed. So honestly, if you don't want to wait for a lefty or you just don't like buying lefties because they're hard to sell and maybe you're just used to right-handed knives, that's usually how I am. This does work. Even though it's a frame lock, he's got the long clip and the big old pivot, and it just works. And the detent, oh my God, it is nice. As you can tell, I'm pretty addicted. I do venture to guess that David Curtis is going to take some of these and anodize them, because, you know, that was kind of the thing when I bought the F3. He had all these different colors of ano. You know, I think I went after a green or a blue. I can't remember. Man, this is addictive. It is just fun. Let's see, is there any play? No play there. No lash there. Yeah, no play anywhere. And I mean, I've been playing with this thing for what? 10 minutes? And it's like gliding shut. I mean, if I put a drop of carbon honey on the detent ball, I think this thing would be like... God damn, it's nice, guys. Yeah. Yes, sir. Great job to you. Absolutely great design by Curtis Knives, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it here, and I'm going to do a separate video for the other two knives, because I feel like this knife deserves a dedicated video. And, you know, that way I can put up a little bit of a shorter video. I always do these hour-long videos lately. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of this Curtis Knives F3 production line. As I understand it, you know, his custom knives have been harder and harder for him to make, and to make them as well as he used to. I think there's some health stuff going on there, not 100% sure. So, you know, doing the production line of knives really helps him to get, you know, knives out there to sell stuff, to keep his business open. And so if you want to support a U.S. maker, you can do it by buying his production knife. Yeah, it's made in China, but as I always tell people, with knives made in China, designed and sold by people like me, or in this case, David. Now he's a true maker. I'm not a maker. I don't claim to be. But a lot of that money stays in the U.S. When it comes to blade material, right? We use a lot of S90V, 154 CM, right? 20 CV gets used a lot. MagnaCut gets used a lot. Those are U.S. steels, right? So that's obviously money that is getting, it's in the U.S. somewhere. Somebody's buying that steel for the knife, right? A lot of the handle materials, whether it's titanium, although I think they source titanium out of China these days, but I think there are U.S. titanium as well, or there is U.S. titanium as well, but camo carbon, not fat carbon, they're in Europe, but that's still like, you know, the West. Camo carbon, different micartas, G10s, a lot of that stuff is made in the U.S. So even the handle materials a lot of times are U.S. based. Carbon fibers. And then it gets made over there, and then it gets shipped, right? All the shipping that takes place, usually by a U.S. company, FedEx, UPS, right? Those are big U.S. companies. Then when they get here, right, they get shipped all around, right? When you order from me, or you order from David, or Dave from Tuya, it gets shipped again via USPS, UPS, FedEx, whatever. That's a U.S. worker who's driving that knife around and dropping it off. Then there's the money that comes to us. Then there's the money that goes to dealers if it's sold through a dealer like Dave Warren. You know, dealers usually get 30%. The companies like us usually get around 30% too, right? Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. So how much does that leave over for China? You you know, just, you know, I'd say 65, 70% at least, 65 is staying in the U.S. when you think about it. Materials, and then all the other stuff I just mentioned. So just because it's not made in the U.S. does not mean you're not supporting U.S. companies. Just keep that in mind. Something I like to mention every once in a while. And especially with somebody like David Curtis, who was making knives and is making knives, but, you know, he can't do it as much and as well as he used to, so he's transitioning, and he's bringing out some production knives. You know, don't you still want to support somebody like that? I do. So, anyway, jimping's very aggressive, too. Very nice. Really, really well done. So that's the Curtis F3 production series. Very well done. Feels really true to the design that I remember. And, yeah, I hope you guys pick one up. If you do, you can pick it up at 2U Knife US or David, or what is it? CurtisCustomKnives.com. Use the code LEFTY at either one, and you'll get 10% off. If you have any questions, hit me in the comments. I love you. I'm going to get to these other two in the next video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.